You could take a guy like Canelo. This guy could do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
Can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can?
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Boxing headlines lit up once again as Floyd Mayweather took aim at Terence Crawford right after Canelo Alvarez's most recent bout. Famous for his unbeaten record and trademark confidence, Mayweather made it clear he's open to stepping back into the ring for another major clash. The idea of a Mayweather versus Crawford matchup has stirred massive debate among fans and analysts, as Crawford is considered one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. With this call-out, the boxing world is buzzing, and anticipation continues to build.
Let me ask you though, Canelo this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7-10-9 rounds clear and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes, he never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence Bud Crawford kept his perfect record intact by outclassing Canelo Alvarez in unanimous decision victory, claiming the title of undisputed super middleweight champion. The showdown went down on September 13, 2025, at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and it stood out as one of the year's most talked about fights. Stepping up 2 weight divisions, Crawford carried himself with supreme confidence from the opening bell. Even though Canelo had the size and punching power on his side, Crawford dictated the pace, relying on slick movement, precise combinations, and smart ring control to take away those advantages.
What did you think? What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I loved the fight, man. I love the fight. I did not know how it was gonna go. I didn't think the weight was gonna be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record saying I didn't think it was gonna be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen, and I knew we would have known after the first, second, or third round. You feel what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was gonna go. And I knew that Bud was only gonna get stronger and get bolder, and start to wear him down, because Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in the later round.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, Bud. I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, but he hands down. He the best. He the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease. Right? You got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by gaining Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was smaller and everything else, these fighters are still humans, and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to the Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
For this showdown, Floyd Mayweather Jr. put his money behind Terence Crawford, showing full faith in his skills against Canelo Alvarez. Despite Crawford entering the fight as the underdog, Mayweather wagered $50,000 on him to win straight up at plus 148 odds. When Crawford earned a unanimous decision victory, that bet paid off big, bringing Mayweather a return of about $124,000. This move not only underlined Mayweather's belief in Crawford's talent, but also reflected his sharp eye for the sport's finer details.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're going to hear from Crawford. And I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather bet on Crawford and made some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals. So I don't expect anything different.
Floyd Mayweather has also been vocal in the pound-for-pound conversation, placing Terence Crawford at the very top of the list. After Crawford's brilliant showing against Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather applauded his skill, discipline, and ability to shine across several weight classes. To Mayweather, being pound-for-pound isn't just about stacking up belts. It's about consistently proving dominance against the toughest competition. In his eyes, Crawford has done just that. By staying undefeated and taking down world-class champions, Crawford has solidified his status as a man to beat in today's boxing era.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Terence Crawford has long expressed respect for Floyd Mayweather, not only for his skills inside the ropes, but also for how he handled his career and built his legacy. That respect eventually grew into a genuine connection between the two. From time to time, Crawford has picked up advice and insights from Mayweather, which he values and puts into practice. Their relationship goes beyond casual mentorship. It's rooted in shared ambition, an understanding of greatness, and a drive to leave a lasting mark on the sport.
You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boy, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll beat this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person.
In a surprising press conference remark, Canelo Alvarez admitted, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." The comment carried weight, considering Alvarez's first career loss came at the hands of Mayweather back in 2013, when he was just 23 and still undefeated. Against Crawford, however, the story was different. Crawford delivered a masterclass, using sharp speed, slick footwork, and precise tactics to control the fight over 12 rounds. Even after moving up 2 weight classes, he managed to neutralize Canelo's trademark power with disciplined defense and well-timed counters.
TV right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
it's my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night? And if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
After Canelo Alvarez claimed that Terence Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather, Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, pushed back on the remark. He argued that Canelo's words were more about boosting Crawford's image in order to make his own loss look more respectable. Jeff pointed out that Canelo's defeat to Floyd happened while the Mexican star was in his prime, dismissing the idea that Floyd was past his best at the time. He also addressed the skill comparison, acknowledging Crawford's talent, but firmly stating that no one matches Mayweather's legendary defensive ability.
We remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
but man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
Well, Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want
to make himself look like he did something great.
Trainer Greg Hackett has added his voice to the debate surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, maintaining that Mayweather still holds the edge. While Crawford win over Canelo Alvarez was undeniably impressive, Hackett argues that Floyd's unmatched defense and ring IQ separate him from the rest. He recognized Crawford's talent, but stressed that Mayweather's undefeated career and dominance across several divisions secure his place above Crawford in the all-time conversation. Hackett's comments reflect the broader boxing community's ongoing debate over who truly stands as the greatest fighter of this era.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter, Jay?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look so great.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has brushed off Canelo Alvarez's statement that Terence Crawford is greater than Floyd Mayweather Jr. according to Hearn. Crawford's resume doesn't quite stack up to Floyd's. He argued that many of Crawford's opponents were past their peak when he faced them, whereas Mayweather consistently beat top-tier fighters at their best. While acknowledging Crawford's recent victory over Canelo is impressive, Hearn stressed that it doesn't compare to the depth of elite wins Mayweather collected across multiple weight divisions during his legendary career.
But Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault. His resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now, Ricky Burns is a great fighter. He's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like what is going to happen in this fight. And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
Carmel Martin has once again voiced his belief that Floyd Mayweather remains a true GOAT of boxing. Despite the recent attention on Terence Crawford's dominance, Martin stressed that Mayweather's flawless record, unmatched ring IQ, defensive mastery, and sustained success across divisions set a standard that's hard to rival. He acknowledged Crawford's impressive run, highlighting his victory over Canelo, but reminded that greatness isn't defined by a single night. Instead, it's about longevity, consistency, and maintaining an undefeated reign at the highest level. In Martin's view, Crawford is undoubtedly world-class, but Mayweather's legacy still belongs in a league of its own.
Where do you sit with this? Because 2 pound-for-pound greats of this era. Canelo, we see the resume. Crawford, 2-time undisputed. Potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. We've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford look a little bigger than. Yeah, for sure. So really just we're gonna see tomorrow. How it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. I feel like it's even playing fields, and both guys coming ready. So we're just gonna have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is great. But does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonards, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, nobody will ever. I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
Terence Crawford has responded to the constant comparisons with Floyd Mayweather Jr., stressing that greatness should be viewed in the context of each fighter's own era. Crawford stated that he is the best of his generation, just as Mayweather was in his, and that direct comparisons aren't necessary. His words reflect both confidence in his accomplishments and a commitment to building a legacy that stands on its own, separate from past legends. Following Crawford's historic triumph over Canelo Alvarez, his longtime trainer Brian Bomack McIntyre urged patience regarding what comes next. He noted that Crawford had just delivered one of the biggest victories of his career and deserved time to recover rather than being pushed immediately into another bout. After months of intense preparation and 12 grueling rounds, McIntyre insisted that rest and recovery must take priority. Instead of focusing on potential opponents, he suggested Crawford take a much-needed vacation to recharge physically and mentally before mapping out the next chapter of his already iconic career.
And you know what? We're going to get back in the gym. And we're going to assess that. And, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you? Yeah. Damn. And for you? Man, hey, this is thing. Appreciate you. What you saying about training a half a year?
We trained almost a half a year for that fight. So you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp.
Bernie the Boxer Thigh, a close associate of Terence Crawford, voiced frustration in the aftermath of the Canelo fight, claiming the judges didn't give Crawford full credit for his dominance. He argued that several rounds were scored too closely, despite Crawford controlling the tempo, dictating the pace, and showcasing cleaner fundamentals throughout the bout. In his view, Crawford clearly outworked Canelo, yet the scorecard didn't reflect the gap in performance. Even with a unanimous decision victory, Bernie felt the margins were unfairly narrow. His remarks underline how judging in boxing often sparks debate, even when the outcome appears decisive.
This is the second time he destroyed every myth. Can he take the punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything. Didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
was in the pocket.
Turned him. Did everything. Talking about he too strong. Turned him a couple times. Pushed him. Crawford the best.
Floyd Mayweather brings a unique perspective to the Crawford-Canelo conversation, as he famously handed Canelo Alvarez his first professional loss back in 2013 when the young star was still undefeated and rapidly climbing the ranks. That victory remains a cornerstone of Mayweather's career, highlighting his trademark defense and unmatched ring IQ. Fast forward to today. With Crawford having convincingly beaten Canelo, Mayweather has now shifted his focus toward Crawford himself. By calling him out, Floyd isn't just adding fuel to the boxing world buzz. He's also sending a message that he still views himself as capable of competing with the sport's very best.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was when he used to
No,
be
he
at
was in
prime,
his
right?
prime, yeah.
Prime, and you're only 23?
20.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, you know, beat him. If you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23. So imagine that. But, you know, he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter.
Could Floyd Mayweather's call out of Terence Crawford be the spark for one of the biggest super fights ever? Or is it time for money to stay retired and let Crawford define the new era? Share your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think.